We should be good now. I think we're good to go. Just gonna double check the live stream. Alright. Alright, you'll probably hear that a few times. We should be good to go now. Let me just get a shareable link. Alright, welcome everyone to the live stream. I'm just going to be showing you how to do non-ELS lighting. Sorry that that took so long to get set up for those of you that are here. Alright, so first things first, what we're going to need to do is open up our folder. We're going to need to find a part or base model that we want to use. For this example, I'm going to use Matt's paid 18 charger, but I'll show you where you can download it from, so the free one at least. So you can go to modding form. It's on modding form, I think. Yep, okay. So just type this up, do modding-form Matt's 18 charger. I'll put it in the comments for those of you that need it. You can follow that there. And then if you're watching this back, it should also show up in the comments, I think, because I'm doing this live, but it's going to also be rewatchable, so if you want to, you can watch it back. Alright, so yeah, you can just click here, and then you can download it from here. I'm using the paid version, though. Alright, so let's do this. I'll actually make this another free release. So let's go back. This is just for the sake of keeping things organized. You don't have to do it this organized if you don't want to. It's just how I choose to do it. So we're going to do a Valor bar on this one. So we're going to put our vehicle files here. If I could spell the name right, that would be very helpful. Alright. So then I just do this. We're going to copy them. Come in here and then paste. Always make a copy, especially if you're doing it how I'm doing it, like it's in a parts folder and then base models. Just make sure that you're doing it correctly, I guess, or just make sure you have a backup of it in case you need to. Next thing you want to do, if you're planning on releasing this, at least, I would make a file folder. So I'll do Valor 18 charger. So that's the name of my file folder. I'm going to have two versions. So I'm going to have red and blue versions. So I'm going to make those two folders. So there's my two versions. I'm only going to worry about red and blue. I'll show you how to do blue and blue later. So red and blue, we'll leave that empty for now. Next thing we're going to want to do is make a new text document. And especially if you're planning on releasing this, you need to do this. Otherwise, some people can get mad. It's always better to do it than not. So just make a credits.txt file. I've always made one. It's just a good habit to get into. So I'll just drag this over here. So I know that my base model, and then I'm just going to say what it is. And then, so the name of the item, so what it is, and then who it's by. So it's a base model. It's the 18 charger base model by Matt. That's pretty much it. So then we'll come back, we'll go to our vehicle files, and we'll open this. If you don't have ZModeler, you will need ZModeler. I'm not going to explain how to do that, and there's plenty of other tutorials out there. There's plenty of tutorials on how to do non-ELS lighting. Voice crack. There's plenty of tutorials on how to do non-ELS lighting, but I'm not going to show you how to do those. Or not non-ELS. getting ZModeler. There is also plenty of tutorials on how to do this, but some aren't good, some are. I'll just help you guys make sure I walk it through slowly, and then if you need help, you can always join my Discord, which should be in the description, and you can just ask. I'm happy to help. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to rename this. I don't want mine to be a replace. I want it to be an add-on. So I'm going to name it Legacy 18 Charger. And I'll just hit LO. And this is what it looks like. I'm going to use 3D left, front, top. This is personally how I like to set mine up. You can set yours up however you want. It doesn't matter how you set up your views. It's all personal preference. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a template. This doesn't have one, so I will have to do that. I'll do that later on. I'll make another video on how to do that. It's not too important, but there is a way that you can do it. I'm just kind of blanking on how to do it, so I'm not going to try and teach you because I need to double check. I think, though... hold on one second. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to buy some parts for my 20 FPAU project, or my 16 FPAU project. So I'm going through that process. Give me just a sec. Okay. So, yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head how to do it. I don't want to give you guys any bad information, so I'll do that later, just in case, because I know there is a template which you can find on the forums post, but I don't want to give you guys any bad information on how to do it. So yeah, there's a way that you can do it. I just don't remember how right this second. Alright, so here's what we're going to do first. I'm using a valor bar. I'm going to use... crap. Whose am I going to use? I'm going to use Turley's. So, you can just come to this. You can go there. One second. Hold on, I gotta do some math real fast. Okay, hold on. I'm doing something real fast. Give me just a sec. Log in. Buying some parts for my 20 FAU. Sorry guys, you can skip ahead if you want. Well, for those of you that are not watching the live stream. So link should be in the comments. You can go ahead and download that. I've already got it downloaded. Again, get in the habit, come in here, and you're going to put valor bar. If I could type that right. I'll put federal signal in front of it. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm just going to put all that. And then it's by Turley, I think. Is that how you pronounce it? TWR. You know what? I'll just copy the name. Okay. We'll download those in just a second. Alright, so we've got that. Next thing we're going to do, after you've downloaded it, I'm just going to save. You should always save, just in case something happens. Also make sure autosave is on, because if autosave is not on, some bad stuff can happen too. So go ahead and press merge. I got to get to my vehicle files, so I'm going to go dev drive projects, or sorry, parts. Free parts is in here somewhere. Valor, lightbar, and merge. We want to wait for it to compress. Okay, hold on. That was weird. There we go. We're going to hit all. We want to... What the... What happened? Hold on. What the hell just happened? Did my charger just get saved to that? That's actually kind of funny if it did. I don't even know how that happened. Maybe I misclicked. Where's the valor bar? Federal signal. It's probably federal signal. Yeah, I must have saved it. Okay. Well, let's do this. Well, now I have to download it. So let's go here. We're going to go to here. Download. I'm going to wait for it to download. That's awkward. Sorry, guys. That's downloaded. And we'll go to lightbar. And we'll drag that in. Alright. Then we'll come here. Make sure you hit File, Merge. I probably hit Save As. That's probably what happened. And then hit Merge. Okay. You're going to have to turn off LO and then turn it back on. First, what I would do is just dismiss everything. It makes life 10 times easier. And then what you could do if you really wanted to is you could get rid of all these extra LOs and just go to L0. That's what I prefer to do because it makes it easier. And I don't see any benefit. Just let the game render out farther away things. So pull all these out. And we just need to pull out all the top ones. So all that. Pull out all the top ones of any duplicates. So lightbar base, we're going to pull out all the duplicates of that. Or only the top of the duplicates, if that makes sense. Linking, unlink. And then that's going to drag it all out. So that's the entire lightbar, that's all you need. So you can go ahead and collapse that and then turn that off and hit delete. Okay. The reason I turn it off is to make sure that we're not deleting anything that we don't want to be deleting. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the legacy charger. Why did I say legacy? This needs to be valor. Wait. Yeah. This doesn't have any other extras on it, does it? No. Okay, cool. Alright. So. Next. I always turn these off. You can turn off affect children. If you have it in a hierarchy, so like let's just say one of the things or one of your pieces is on top and then everything else is inside of it. So if you have affect children on it, it'll move it kind of weird. So just make sure that it's always, I just always have it off. Let me reselect all that. Make sure auto's off. You can leave pivot on for now. We'll turn that off later. So we're going to move the bar down. Not trying to get it perfect right this second. We'll just get it somewhat positioned, and then once we've got it in somewhat of a decent position, let's go ahead and go back. So that's centered. We're just going to pull it down, and we kind of want it to go out, so we can scale it up and then reset to parent. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to scale it up. So you're going to press scale, hold shift so that it selects all axes to scale, and we're just going to scale it up just a bit. Right there should be fine. We're going to double check that none of our ID or carcels, or sorry, mesh lighting meshes got moved. And we're just going to move it back down. Alright, so we didn't scale it up enough because we want this piece to be on the edge of the frame. So those little feet we want on the edge of the frame right there, which is this little section right here. So we're just going to scale, hold shift, we'll scale it up a little bit more, check the lighting meshes, make sure nothing looks bad. Then move it down on the y-axis. I would say that's close enough, at least for our purposes. And then I would move this down a little bit so that you can account for the flex of the, or the angle of the hood. The bar kind of looks big, which is fine. For now, it's fine. We'll go ahead and center it on our door frame. So this is our little clamp, so we're going to bring it back so that the clamp is centered on the door frame. And then what I'm going to do, I would do this better if I was actually going to release this car or release it like this, but for today's purpose I'm not going to release it like this because I would not release it like this. I'm just going to show you how to do it, and then you can obviously fix it how you want. I'm not going for anything to be perfect, so we'll just go ahead and drag this. I'm in vertex mode, so you can just press 1 on your keyboard to get into vertex mode. I would do this in Blender so that it looks better, but for a tutorial purpose, I'm not too worried about it. Okay, so we're just going to move it down. We just want it to be in that door arch. So I want this piece to be sideways somewhat, and then we'll bring this down. Alright. And that looks decent enough. We'll just go ahead and make these tighter to the car so that they fit tighter and don't have a giant air pocket in between them and look more natural like that. Looks more realistic that way. So then we'll do the same thing to the other side. Just grab this, bring it down. We're going to check this side. We'll grab these two. If you miss an axis, just hold shift and then drag back over the axis that you need. Make sure you turn off auto. And then we'll just bring these inside the car. And again, it's good enough for a tutorial, but not good enough for a release. So this needs to go up. So I would just make sure, if you're planning on releasing it, actually make sure you're doing it in Blender, do a good job. This is just for tutorial purposes, it's good enough. I'm going to say that a decent amount of times in this tutorial. Alright. Okay. So now that we've got that, we'll just go ahead and deselect that. Press 4, we'll deselect all that. And at this point, we're going to turn off the base. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my dummy, let's actually reset all this to parent, or reset all of it. So we're going to go to reset to world, make sure, click in the window, make sure auto's off, and then click again. Reset to pivot helper, click, reset to parent, click, center local axes, click, and you should see a bunch of axes pop up over here. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a dummy node. So just by clicking up here, or dummy helper, dummy node, same thing. I'm going to name this extra 1 because this is what I'm going to make the car or the light bar is an extra. So you can either name it extra 1, or if you don't want it to be an extra, you can name it misc underscore light bar, whatever. So extra underscore 1 for me. So that does nothing right now. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our light bar base, our light bar mount, and we're going to throw those into extra 1 because we'll need those later. We'll go ahead and turn off extra 1 so that that stuff isn't showing anymore. The hot feet, so we've got our hot feet side, our hot feet, or our hot feet front, hot feet side, and then hot feet front again. Hold on. This looks like it's a duplicate, so I would say you're good to delete this one. Alright, so those are our hot feet. We'll just go ahead and throw those in here too. We'll worry about those later. I'll turn this on. Okay, and then we've got our light bar glass left. So we'll go ahead and throw that into extra 1 for now. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn off all this. These are all of our emissive meshes, so we'll just turn those off for now. I'm going to turn off light bar glass so that we don't accidentally attach light bar glass. Next I'm going to come into front view. I'm going to hit attach, and then I'm going to start attaching all this. Just like so. Alright, so there we go. All of it's attached, and you can see that by just turning on and off hot feet side. So, this is what I'm going to do. Since this is going to be extra 1, I'm going to name it extra 1. And then L0, so that we know it's the LO, or the L0, level of detail 0. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. And then light bar glass, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to name it extra 1, extra underscore 1, underscore glass. So that it's named a glass. Okay, so there's that, our extra 1 itself. Next, we have to deal with our emissives. So this is going to be our front emissives. And I think what I'm also going to do is make the entire front of the light bar, like this, light up whenever I turn on my high beams. So to do that, I'm going to attach the front to that. So now I've got one piece. I'm going to name this extra light underscore 1. I'm going to drag it into extra 1. Okay, we'll turn that off for now. These are going to be our side lights. There is a way that you can do environmental lights for these, but I'm not too concerned about it for now, so I'm just going to simply attach them to here. Alright, next we've got our individual emissives for the light bar. So we've got hot feet lights, are these two down here. So either red and blue is for our hot feet. I don't want my hot feet to be red and blue. I only want them to be one coherent color. Next we've got our red and blue textures for the front, so that's 1 and 2. And then 3 and 4 is going to be our back ambers. So I'm going to go for an all or red and blue pattern. So I'm not worried about how many sirens I'm going to use, but you can only use 20. Since I'm going to redo this anyways, I'm going to get a different light bar since this light bar is okay, but I would rather use someone else's. So you can hit detach. We're going to go into top view. So I'm going to only worry about red for now. And I'm going to just detach the lights that I want to be in a group. So I'm trying to think of how I'm going to say it. So one side, sorry, I'm trying to think of how I should say this. So I've just completely lost my train of thought. So I'm making sirens, right? So each of these is an emissive, right? And we're gonna make it a siren so that you can change, or you can toggle it on and off with your carcals. So we're gonna select which ones we want to be in our siren, or which ones we want to flash at the same time. So I'm gonna just go for every other light up to there. So I'm gonna leave those 3 there. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off auto and click, and that'll make that its own light. So that's its own light mesh. We'll go ahead and deselect that. And then we'll go ahead and hit 3. And then we'll go ahead and select all of these. And then those are our lights for that side. So that's all of our red lights. Then we'll do the same thing for our blue lights. We'll go ahead and click 3, click on the mesh, and then we're going to turn on auto, drag over, hold shift, drag over, hold shift, drag over, just like so. And then turn that off. Same thing here. 3, click, turn on auto, drag over, drag, hold shift, drag over, hold shift, drag over, auto off. Alright, there you go. So that's the lights. That's the red and blue lights at least. Alright, so there's those. Now on the back of the light bar we have amber lights. I want to make them red and blue so that we can have a flash pattern in the back. So I'm going to take extra 4 first, and I'm going to re-UV map it. So I'm going to go edit mapping, edit UV. Sometimes it's a bitch, so just turn off detach, select it, go to mapping, edit UV. Then keep everything here, just press OK. We're going to change our 3D to UV mapper. We're going to select our material to Valor emissive light emissives. I'm going to take this light emissive and we're just going to move it up to the red. And I would say that's about good. Then we'll go to 3D. And there you go. Now it's red. So now we'll turn on our extra ones, which is going to be our red lights. We haven't renamed it yet, so that's fine. We'll turn off our front 2, so those 2 are our fronts. And then now we're just going to, I'm going to attach these 2 to make it more noticeable that they're a pair. And then I'm going to go ahead and detach every other light again. So we're going to go those, and those. And now that's its own siren. Again, I would be using less sirens if this was actually a release, but since it's not a release, I'm not too worried about it. We're going to do the same thing here, so we're just going to go turn it on, select mapping, edit UV, OK, UV mapper, material, val light emissives, come down here, turn on move, drag over it, move up the emissive, deselect it, go to 3D. You'll see that it's blue. We'll go ahead and deselect it here. We're going to hit attach, and we're going to attach it to those lights again so that we know which one is which. Next we're going to hit detach, 3. We're going to do that process again, auto, and we're just going to go over all of every other light, select them just like so. Alright, so there you go. There's all of the lights. And they've all got individual functions. I'm going to go ahead and start renaming them now. So this is going to be siren 1. That's going to be siren 2. siren 3, siren 4, siren 5, siren 6, siren 7, and siren 8. Alright, there's all 8 of our sirens. Next, what we're going to do is select all of them. You can either go ahead and just hit the bottom one, shift, get to the top one, and then do that. Or you can come into the view and drag over everything. We're going to go to display, reset to world, turn off auto, click, reset to parent, reset to pivot helper, click, reset to parent, click, and then center local axes, click. And there we go. There's all of our sirens selected. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to do edit and copy. And then we're going to go ahead and make this top set a dummy. So you should see all these blue boxes appear. So we're going to go ahead and start dragging in all of our sirens into the same thing. So siren 4 will go to siren 4, siren 5 will go to siren 5, siren 6 will go to siren 6, siren 7 will go to siren 7, siren 8 will go to siren 8. Just make sure that you are only putting siren meshes inside of siren dummies. Okay, so if you turn off all of these, all the boxes on the inside, you should see there should be no mesh, and it should just be these boxes, which is what we want. We're going to go ahead and turn on auto, select all of them, properties, scale X for the dummy node. We're going to go ahead and scale these down to 0.0150 on all axes. So 0.0150, 0.0150, 0.0150, 0.0150. We're going to apply. Alright, so we can go ahead and deselect all of those. We're going to turn on extra 1 LO. And then we're going to see how some of these are sticking out. So you'll be able to see the light mesh itself, which will glow in game, and it'll make the light bar look really bad. So here's how we're going to fix that. We're just going to turn off the light bar. We'll just grab these two, turn the light bar back on, modify, move, X, Y. You can put them anywhere. Try to keep them in the light bar so that they're flashing from a realistic area. They're not just like flashing from your hood or whatever. So we'll turn those off, and we're just going to take those, and then we'll just move them back into the car, or into the light bar. Make sure you don't accidentally move your light bar. Just grab these back to ones. Actually, we don't even need to grab that one, so we'll go ahead and just grab that one and that one. And then we only need to move it by Y. Make sure auto's off, and just bring it back to where you can't see it anymore. Alright. We'll go ahead and deselect all of those. Turn off the light bar. Next, we're going to turn off all of our sirens. Then we're going to turn on all of the meshes. So there you can see all of our meshes are showing up. And you can see that these don't have the same axes as our parents, which is our dummy nodes. So how we're going to do that is we're going to go ahead and select these. I'm going to go to display, reset to world, click, reset to pivot helper, click, reset to parent, click. You should see they all are now in the center of the light bar. We'll hit pivot to make sure it's off. Make sure the red box is not glowing. We'll go to properties, scale. We're going to go 0.1 for all of these. Then hit apply. Again, we're going to just double check that our lights are inside our light bar so that you can't see them through the light bar. And we've got all of our lights inside the light bar. And then as you can see, on the back we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lights on the back. So we're going to go ahead and deselect all those. I'm going to select all 4 of these backlights. and I want them to flash to the back. So I'm going to go ahead and do a modify, rotate, X and Y, and we're going to rotate it 180 degrees. Make sure it's in top view, X and Y, hit rotate. Okay, so that'll rotate it 180 degrees. And you can go ahead and deselect those. And then it's time to LO. So we're going to start with siren. We're going to go ahead and turn on all of these. You don't have to, but I've seen it be kind of jank or messed up if you don't, so just do it in case you need to. Go ahead and press convert to compound, lock, L0, just drag in. And we're just going to repeat that process for all of the lights. Alright, just like that. As you can see, whenever we press LO, they show up, which is what we want. So we'll just go ahead and drag these into extra 1, select all of them, turn them off for now, because we're done with those. So extra 1 LO, we're just going to go ahead and hit extra 1, convert to compound, lock L0, and drag extra 1 LO into it, just like so. The glass, we're going to make a copy of it. We're going to turn both on. We're going to convert to dummy, the first one. And then we're going to hit convert to compound, lock, L0, extra 1 glass, drag and drop. And there we go. Now that should also come on whenever we press LO, as well as the base should come on when we press LO. Extra light 1, this is our lighting for it. We're going to go ahead and select all of it. We're going to make it an extra light, so whenever you turn on your high beams, the entire light bar will light up. So we're going to press 1 to go into vertex mode. I'm going to click. I'm going to select all of them. Go to properties, external state, and set the external ID to 14. Hit apply. Click 2. Drag over it. 14. Deselect it. Go to 3. Select. 14. Apply. Deselect. 4. ID 14. Enter. Apply. Alright, there's that. Now we're going to hit edit, copy, and then we're going to convert to a dummy. We want to make sure that that dummy is in the right spot, so I will move it just a little bit up so that it looks like it's coming out of the right spot. So we'll just put it right at the edge. I'm going to turn it off of solid so that we can see where the vertex or the vertices are. Make sure that that blue line on your dummy is pointing in towards the center. Otherwise, it'll mess it up. Then we're going to go ahead and drag extra light 1 into extra light 1, our dummy. Then we're going to go ahead and LO. So structure, convert to compound, lock, L0, drag and drop. One thing I do recommend is if your car has extra lights, which this one does not, that you attach your extra light 1 to, or the extra light 1 that is provided with the car to here so that it will actually work properly, because if you have two with this, if you have 2 extra light 1s, it'll automatically choose whichever one is higher in the hierarchy if it's not in an extra. So with that, we're now almost ready. So we'll hit show all, hit LO, and as you can see, all of it shows up, which looks good. We can't see any lights, which is also good. So we're going to go ahead and turn that off. We'll go ahead and turn off LO at the same time. We'll go ahead and open this back up. We'll turn off 18 charger, we'll hit LO. And next we need to make a collision. So I'm just going to make it a box. make it my life easier. We're just going to do a rough outline. We don't have to make it too tight right now. We're going to fix that up in just a sec. So looks like it's perfectly on the front. So I'm going to hit 1 to go into vertex mode, then click. I'm going to select these back axes. I'm going to turn on my move tool and move it down on Y. And then it looks like it's perfect, almost perfect on the X on that side, but this side needs some adjustments. So we'll just go ahead and move that. Then we got to do Y's on this side, so we'll just drag it up to there, and then we'll select the top axes, move them down. You shouldn't see any part of your light bar sticking out of the box, which we can't, so that's good. Next, we're just going to rename our box extra _1 space, make sure there is a space, bracket, there must be a bracket, COL, and that must be capitalized, and then close the bracket. If you don't do it exactly like that, at least the space, bracket, COL, close bracket, it will not work. We're going to turn off our LO. We're going to press collision, convert to compound, collision. And there we go. Now it's a collision. So we can go ahead and drag our extra 1 into our chassis. And there we go. It's ready to go. So now we could go ahead and do a file save your work, save it often. And then we'll go to file, export, and then you'll set it up. That's how you do non-ELS lighting. I'm not going to show you how to do carcels. If you need help with carcels, you can come back at a later time, because carcels is a whole nother beast, and I don't have the time to do it right now. So that is how you set up non-ELS lights, just like that. If you need help with carcels, come to the Discord, which is in the description, and you can ask questions. Alright. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next one.